Hi guys, my name is Toby and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification button so that you can see other wonderful videos when I post them here. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I designed this yinyang bag by Toby. It's a beautiful mini bag, a very beautiful multifunctional mini bag that you can take to almost all occasions that you want. It has a back pocket, it has a slip pocket, it has a zipper pocket, and the fun thing about this bag is that you can interchange the cover to whatever cover choice you want. Now, it's a beautiful bag and you can find the link to purchase the pattern in the description of this video. So, let's get right into making this beautiful yin yang bag. Yeah, so what we want to first do is to cut out our pieces. This is our main panel. You can see where we have the marked line just as it is in the pattern. This is our second side panel, our main side panel or flap panel. This is for the strap, the back handle, the zipper overlay. There's the side interface, the main body interface, and the flap interface. These are the grommet pieces. So you just want to have all your parts in check before you begin. So the next step in this bag making process is to attach our interfaces to their panels. This is the main interface. We are going to attach it to this part, and then we're going to take the flap interface and using the glue we're going to attach it to this part. So we're going to apply glue to this surface, apply glue to this surface, and then we're going to attach this part. So we have glued this interface to the flap panel. You can see we have glued it to the flap panel. Now I want to glue the main interface to the main panel. So carefully we are going to place it this way, carefully, following the lines so that you have those allowance at the sides and all around. So we have glued, you can see it, we have glued the main interface to the main panel. So right now we're going to apply glue to the edge of the fiber and the edge of the interface, to the edge of the vinyl and to the edge of the interface, and then we're going to fold it. We're going to do the same for this. We're going to apply glue to the edge of the interface and to the edge of the vinyl, and then we'll fold it. You might want to notch these parts to enable you fold it properly. So right now we're just going to apply glue all to the edges and then fold. So let's do that right away. We have folded all the edge of our main panel and the flap panel. You can see we have folded the edges neatly. So you might want to skive this, you might want to skive the pleats away. Carefully just skive the pleats of the panels. Wherever you can find pleats, just skive them off so you can have a really flat surface on there. Alright, so I just want to skive it off. So wherever you find the pleats, just do that, and we go on to attach our grommet onto the flap panel and to the main panel. Now to attach our grommet, we need to mark the places where they will be. So our bag is this way. We have this pattern that we use to cut this part. This is like where you have the hole, so you're gonna use that to make the hole on your flap panel, Then you're gonna use this also. It's in the pattern, labels the checker to make the hole for the grommet on there, and also for where the handle will be, you're gonna make the holes there. So you find the point on your pattern where you make the hole. And then something else, you might want to have two different sizes of grommets for your bag. You might want these ones to be a little bit bigger than the grommets for the top. So if you are using a small grommet for the handle, you might want the ones for the body and the flap to be a bit bigger, so that it can actually bring out the beauty. You don't want the handle grommet to be too big and then you have spaces on your handle. So let's go on and make the holes for the different parts of the bag and where they will be. So I have a big size and I have a smaller size. So I'm going to use the smaller size for the top where the handles will be, and then I'll use the big size for the body of the bag. So let's go on to make those holes. You can see we have our holes here. So right now I want to change this. I'm going to look for where my mark is, and then I'm going to bore the hole there. So there we go. We have our hose, and now we're going to attach our grommets to it. Alright, so we have attached our grommets to the flap. You can see it. There are actually machines that you can use to make these holes, but in the absence of those machines, you can improvise with those dices that are used. You can see we have made the holes here, and we have bent the eyelet at the back. Now you can see our yin-yang is already forming right here. This is how it should look like, and then our flap is going to bend, and we have our handle here. So right now what we want to do is to attach the grommet piece. You can see we have cut out two different vinyl, one from the flap and one from the main body. But right now we're going to have this main body go into the flap to give it that inverted look, and we have this go into this part. Just for design, you can decide to have yours any way you want, but then it is yin yang, so you want it to be like this and like this. So what we're going to do right about now is to just apply a little bit of glue around this part, and then have this here so that this part can be covered, and then we apply a little bit of glue around here and then place this on here. So let's do that right away. Alright, now we have applied a little bit of glue, so we are going to take this. Remember, it is this for this. I'm going to place it gently on here. You can see that. You can see. Yep. Now we are placing this at this point to cover our grommet. Now this is what we have. So that is all about covering the grommet pieces for the body. Now you can see what we have here. Our bag is beginning to take shape. So let's go on to attach our purse feet right here. So this is our purse feet, and we use the pattern to create the holes where it is going to be. So we insert these. We want to insert these. Take these here. this goes here like so. Yeah, so we have inserted our pulse feet, so we want to bend it this way. We just want to bend it. We just want to bend it like this, like this, like this. So there we go. So we're just gonna cut thin stripes of vinyl to just close up this bent pulse feet. So that is that. So let's close up all of this. All right, so we have our tiny pieces. We just want to cover where the pulse feet is gonna be. So there we go. We have our pulse feet covered. Now this is our bag taking shape already. So right about now we want to make our handle. This is the handle panel, and this is the pipe we are gonna be putting inside of the handle. We're gonna be inserting this into the handle, but first of all we're gonna apply glue to the edges of this part of the handle and then fold this way. The amount of vinyl you're going to fold is on the pattern, so you know where to mark and where to fold. So let's apply glue to where we are supposed to fold, and then we go on to fold it, and then we sew together. Okay, so we have folded. You can see we have folded the part we are supposed to fold. Right now we are going to sew first place. We cut off an inch, just the edge alone. We're going to sew it all the way down from the top to down the handle. You can see the pipe we're putting into the handle is not the same length. The measurement for it is in the pattern, so you know where to cut and how to cut it. But right now we're just going to sew this part from the top to the bottom, and then we're going to insert this when we are done sewing. So let's go on to sew our handle. Okay, so you can see we have sewn the edge of our handle, just one edge from top to the base. Now we're going to insert our pipe. We're going to insert our pipe this way. Now we make sure that when you insert your pipe, you have a little bit of space, about 1 inch on both sides, that you can bend like this. So this is where our pipe starts and our pipe stops here. So this is going to go into the flap, and then we are going to fold it like that. You can see. So let's get our flap. This is our flap. Now this is the back. The place you have sewn is going to be the back of the handle. So you insert it this way into your grommet carefully. Then you insert this also to your grommet. Now you can see this is how it should look like. The next thing you want to do is to fold these at the back. So you're going to apply glue and then fold onto this part like so. You can see how it is. So let's apply glue and then fold this. So I have glued down my handle. You can see it's glued properly. Now for some of you, if you do not trust the strength of your glue, you can go ahead to add rivets to this point so you can further strengthen the grip of your handle. But I've been using my glue for years now, and I am yet to hear anybody complain about my handles coming off or anything, because it is very, very strong. So if you are not so sure about the strength of your glue, you can go ahead to insert rivets to this point and use it to hold the handle further down. Okay, right now it's time to attach our flap lining to our flap panel. You can see we have marked the point where we are going to fold. Then we are going to apply glue to the edges. We are going to fold, and then we are going to insert our magnetic snaps to the flap lining. Remember, this bag has a detachable flap, so we are going to have 4 magnetic snaps on the flap panel, or the flap lining, I beg your pardon. So it is the magnetic snap that will help us in detaching the flap from the bag. So let's go on to fold the edges roundabout. We are first going to apply glue and then fold. So we have folded the edges of our flap lining, and we have inserted the male part of our magnetic snaps to the flap and to the back of the flap. This is going to the back of the flap because that is where we detach our flap from. So we are going to apply glue and have the lining glued to the flap panel like so. You can see the lining is mirroring the flap panel, so this is the way it is going to be. So let's go on to attach glue to every side of this and every side of this, and then we place it together. So I have used a glue to hold my lining on to my flap panel. You can see the lining has been attached and every part is aligning. So right now what we want to do is to mark the point where our female magnetic snap is going to be. If you can notice, you'll see that the magnetic snap at the back of the flap is a bit smaller than the one at the front of the snap of the flap. If you want, you can make both of them the same size, but I just chose to have this one a bit smaller in size, as you can see. So right now we're gonna attach the female part of the magnetic snap of the back of the flap like this. Now we'll get our bag. This is the front, as you know. This is the front and this is the back of the bag. So right now you want to just mark the points where the snap is going to be. You want to mark it carefully like so. You want to just mark it and then bore the hole. You can see I'm trying to press it to make a mark there so that I can bore a hole and insert my female magnetic snap to the back of the bag. So now I have my holes. You might not see them, but I can see them from here. So I am going to bore through those holes now and insert this female part onto the points where I have marked. So you can see we have done that for the front also. Remember, the front has the grommet. You can see. So this clips like this easily. It clips and lays down flat, and the back also clips. You can hear clip like this, like this. Good. So that's our bag, the back and the front. You can see we have made the detachable flap already, and our bag is beginning to take full shape. Now let's move on to the next part of this beautiful bag. Taking out our flap that we set aside before, and now we are going to top stitch it round about, 1/4 inch round about. So we do that for the flap, and the back pocket will be placed right sides facing each other like that. And then what you want to do is to sew round the edge of the back pocket, leaving a small space where you can turn it over when you are done sewing. So you're going to stitch round, you're going to top stitch around the pocket, but leaving a small space right there where you can turn it over and then sew at the back of your bag. So we're going to sew this to the back of our bag like so. So we're just going to sew the edges, but we are going to sew this part first alone. We're going to sew this part alone first. After we have done that, then we'll place it here and then sew this part to the back of the bag, and you can choose to put a rivet on each side to just hold the back pocket down. So let's go do that. So we have sewn our back pocket. You can see our back pocket is sewn, and I have attached rivets to hold this in place like that. So that is that about the main panel. You can see our grommet, our pulse feet, our magnetic snap for the front, the one for the back, and our back pocket. So let's go on to make the lining for our bag. Right now we want to make a slip pocket. And now you have your slip pocket piece. We're going to place it this way, the right sides touching each other. Then you sew both edges at 1/4 of an inch, just both edges along the shorter sides. Then you turn it upside down when you are done sewing and attach this part to the top of the slip pocket. So let's go on to do that while I show you. So we have sewn it at the edge. Now you want to turn it upside down this way, and turn it, let the right side face up. Yep, like so. So you want to push these edges out. These edges out. You want to push these edges out. Yeah. Great. So now we are going to sew this like this. We're just going to sew the top down with top stitching down, and when we are done, we're going to turn it upside down and fold, and then top stitch again. So let's do that. Now we have our slip pocket ready. The next thing we want to do now is to attach it to the lining and sew. So we're going to place it this way and sew the side, the bottom, and the side. The side, the bottom, and the side. So let's do that right away. So we have our slip pocket is sitting pretty, you can see. Now you want to remember that you don't want something too thick for your slip pocket. So if you're going to be using vinyl like I did here, make sure it is not too thick so your machine will be able to sew that. You can as well choose to use your lining for the slip pocket. It's your bag, so it's your choice. And you can see I have put rivets here to just hold the slip pockets in place. So that is that. Right now we are going to attach the zipper pocket at the other side of our lining. Now we're going to get our zipper panel, our zipper overlay, then we're going to make that now. Alright, now we want to attach our zipper pocket. You can use a double-sided tape to hold this in place, or a fabric glue or a pin to just hold this in place. Now you want to sew the outer edge of the zipper overlay, just the outer edge alone. You are not sewing the inner edges, just the outer edge. So let's go do that. We are sewing the outside edge alone, and then when we are done, we are going to cut this part to create a window in the zipper overlay. So we have sewn the outer edges of the zipper overlay. Now what we want to do is to take our zipper and our lining piece, our zipper lining piece. So we want to sew this part like this to the top, and then you take the base too and sew to the other end like that. So we want to sew like this. You're going to sew this first. You might want to use a double-sided tape to hold this in place. Then you take the second end and sew that way too. So let's do that. All right, so we have done that. We have sewn our zipper to our zipper lining. So what you want to do now, you can see the zipper is facing up after I have sewn it. You can use a double-sided tape to do that. In my own case, I use the fabric glue to hold it down so the zipper can face this way. Now you're going to take this and place under here like this. You can see the pocket is facing up. The pocket is facing up, this pocket. So when you do it this way, you want to sew here, you want to sew this side, you want to sew under, and you want to sew this side alone. You are not sewing the top. You're just going to sew this side, under, and this side alone. So you can use a double-sided tape to hold it down. You can remember to make the pocket face up. This pocket should be up. So right now we are going to sew this place, this part, and this side. Remember to take every piece of the pocket up. Every piece of the pocket up. You can see every piece of the pocket is up. So let's do that. Okay, now you see we have sewn the side, the base, and the side alone with our pocket stay up. Now you want to drop the pocket down. You want to drop everything down. Then you're going to top stitch just this part alone. You top stitch this part alone so we can have our lining zipper pocket. So right now I'm going to top stitch just this part alone. So great, now we have our zipper pocket. You can see what we want to do now is to open this part up and sew the sides. Take this part and sew the sides, and then you cut off the excess to complete your zipper pocket. So we have sewn both sides and cut off the excess. So that is that about our lining. You can see the slip pocket and the zipper pocket, and that's that about that. For the side panel, you can see we have attached our side connectors, and we have folded it up. We have also put a rivet on there, and this is our lining also. We have folded it up too. What we want to do now is to place them together, making sure all sides align. So you want to do that for both pieces of the side panel. You sew, you top stitch after putting them together. Just top stitch the top of the side panel alone. That is after you have attached your side connectors. Then you go on to place them together and then top stitch on the top of the side panel. Now these have been top stitched. You can see we top stitch only the top of the side panel A has been top stitched. Now we will take side panel B. You can see it's been folded. The instruction to fold is in the pattern, so you can see right now how it is folded. Now we are going to take this side panel B and side panel A. We're going to align it this way, now that is right sides facing each other. Now remember to have a little gap here. You know, the measurement for that is in the pattern. We're going to let it have a little space or a little allowance here, as the case may be. Now you top stitch this way, this way, this way, this way, and then down to this part, making sure that you still have that same allowance that you had at the beginning of the sewing. Now you repeat that for the second one also. Side panels sewn to side panel B, side panel A sewn to side panel B. You can see we have a little bit of allowance right at the top. Same thing for the second side. So what we want to do now is to attach this to our lining, and we're going to use clips. We're going to use clips to attach this. You can see we are attaching it to where the lining and side panel B meets. Not, we are leaving this allowance alone. So remember to start from that allowance that you left, from that top, and you use your clip to hold it in place. You know, do that for the second side. You are starting from the very top, the very top, where that allowance is. So you use your clip and hold it down. You repeat that for all sides. You repeat that for all sides. You repeat that for all the side down to the back. So let's use our clips to do that. Now this is what you have when you are done sewing round. This is how your lining and side panel should look like. So this is how it is. This is how it is inside. You can see this is our zipper. This is our slide pocket. You can see the side panel B is not sewn. It is only attached to the lining where side panel A meets with the lining also. So what you want to do now is to take the main panel. Take the main panel like this. To take the main panel, and then using clips, you hold everything in place. You can see you want to sew it, but you have to hold it in place. You can see you hold it in place, starting from, make sure it's aligning from the top. You hold it that way, then you go on to clip every part. You can see. So you want to sew this round after using your clips. So you get more clips, and then you hold the side panel to the main panel, and then you go ahead to top stitch it round, and then top stitch this part also. Here we are. We have sewn this round, so you can see inside of our bag. Here's our slip pocket. Here's a zipper pocket. Now you just want to attach magnetic snap like so, and like this. So this is our bag, our yin yang bag. So you can always go over the procedure for the flap to make a different kind of flap. Maybe you want to change the flap, you can go ahead to make a different flap, maybe using the same color of vinyl that you used here. So right about now we want to attach our chain, and you just simply attach your swivel hook to both ends of a chain and then insert here and insert here. So there you go. Our yin yang bag is finally done. Finally done. Guys, how do you see this? It's looking really pretty. So you can always change your cover, you know, you can always detach it if you want to have a different flap for your bag. So guys, that is all about the yin yang bag. I'm sure you like this video. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see more amazing videos like this. Thank you.